You are watching NetSoft IT Academy. 905-812-2923. info@netsoftakademy.com. www.netsoftakademy.com.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to AZ-104 Certification Prep Series. In this video, we are diving into the key domain, that is, managing Microsoft Entra ID users and groups. Well, this is essential for day-to-day Azure administration. So let's break it down step by step. All right, now let's check out how you can create user and user group. Well, if you are in Azure portal, then you will search for Microsoft Entra ID. You just simply type Entra ID. Now, to create users or groups, you don't need Azure subscription. Yes, you need subscription when you want to create resources on Azure. Let's say you want to deploy a virtual machine or a database or some other resource. Then you need a subscription because you need to pay for it. But just to create users or user groups or do any security-related activities in Entra ID, all you need is Azure account and a license for your Entra ID. If you have a free license for your Entra ID, then you can do the basic task of creating user, user group, and few more security-related tasks, which can be done. But if you want advanced security and all the bells and whistles of Entra ID, then you may need to go to P1 or P2 license. Now, let's go back to Entra ID. In Entra ID, under Manage, you will see that you have so many sub-services. All these services are under the umbrella of Entra ID. And over there, you will see Users. This is where you create your user. So on top, you just click on New User, Create New User. Then you put a unique name there. So I will call it RSB Demo User. RSB is just my name initials, and Demo User 01, for example. Then you have to put the display name as well. Then you have to set the password. Now, if you want your own password here, you can put it here. There's no problem with that. But even if you put a custom password, the user still have to reset the password. So both scenarios are possible. You can use the auto-generated password by Azure, or you can put your own password string there and then give it to all the users, and then they will reset it to make the password their personal description, or to make the password personal. All right, I'm okay with the temporary password. Then you decide, do you just want to make the account and then keep it disabled? Maybe you want to enable it next month. Well, you can decide it here. Or you can enable the account so that the user can immediately sign in and start using the environment. So once this is done, the next part is properties. This is where you add extra data, or you can say metadata for this account, which involves company name, job title, department, employee ID, and so much more. Address as well. Now, next, assignment. This is important. Right here, if you have an administrative unit, you can make this user the member of that administrative unit straight away. Or if you already have a group, then you can assign this user to that specific group. Plus, if you want to give some privilege to that user, let's say you want to make that user global admin, well, you can do it right away. All this can be done later as well, once the user account is created. Next, you will review it and then click on Create. And that's it. Your user is now created. Well, this is okay if you want to create just one or maybe like 2-3 users manually. But what if you want to create thousands of user profiles? Well, in that case, you will go to bulk operations and click on bulk create. This is where Azure will give you a CSV template, that is just comma separated value template. You download it, and then you put the information in that template, and then upload it and submit. All the user created in that template will be created in Azure Entra ID. Now, how does this template look like? Let me show you. So download, I already have the template, so I will just open that. All right, so the template looks like this. Very simple and straightforward. Now, if you see on the name, username, initial password, and block sign in, on these entry, it's written required. So the first 4 entries are compulsion. You have to put the information here. So when you are ready to configure this template, always remove this example. Now, you put the name of the user, RSB demo user 02, let's say, and then the UPN. And remember, for your user principal name, you have to put the domain name as well. So whatever your company's domain name is, or whatever you registered, you will put it here. Now, if you want to make sure that you are putting the right domain name, you will go back to your Entra ID. All right, so I'm back to Entra ID. I will go here on the overview page, and this is my domain. So I work for this organization, so here it is. In your case, you will have a different domain. And let's say you don't have a custom domain. In that case, you will get this default domain, which actually appears in this format. It will have your name, then on Microsoft.com, something like that. You will copy the complete domain name and then paste it here. And that's it. You will do this for all the users. Now the password. Again, this can be your own string. Now here you have to say no if you want this account to be active. If you say yes, then the sign-in will be blocked. Now, rest of these entries, well, all this is metadata. Not critical, but I will recommend to add as much information as possible because it can help you in management, especially in the future when you have a lot of users. Okay, so once you're happy with your entries, well, make sure you save it as demo02 and you save it as CSV. I'm using this for maximum compatibility. And save it. Done. Now let's go back to Azure, go to User, then go to Bulk Operation, then click on Bulk Create, and upload that file we just created, demo2. And here we go. Now, note, if you made a mistake in the, let's say, CSV file, or you actually put the wrong syntax, you will get error here. So if you're not getting any error and the file uploaded successfully, that means at least the structure is correct. Then you submit it. Now, Azure will take some time to deploy your user, and eventually you will see that new user in this list. And you can even search for it. So I will just say RSB demo user 1, and here is your user 2. It's created. Now, what if you want to delete all those users? Well, again, you can do it in bulk. So you can say bulk delete. Again, you will get a template, and this template is super simple. It only asks for user principal name, and that's it. So you copy paste all the user principal name in that template and just push it. Those users will be deleted. What if you made a mistake and you deleted some critical users? Again, don't worry. If you see on the left-hand blade, you have deleted user. This is where you get all your deleted user, at least for 30 days. So you can always go back and restore them. Now, before I move to groups, I would like to make this statement. There is only one main, or you can say core, identity and access management solution for Azure, for Microsoft 365, for Intune, or for any Microsoft cloud-related services, or most of it. That means if you create a user in this portal, or you log into Microsoft Intune Admin Center. Intune is a totally separate product for a separate functionality. But over there as well, you see users. Again, this is not a separate structure. If you type RSB demo, you will see the same users here. Or if you go to Microsoft Entra Admin Center, again, a totally separate dashboard for the same service. Here you also have users, and you will find it here. Look. Or you go to Microsoft 365 Admin Center, and then you go to users. And here you go. So, on top, as an umbrella for identity and access management solution, IAM solution, Microsoft use Entra ID. Now, this Entra ID can be a part of multiple dashboards in multiple subservices. I hope it makes sense now. All right, now we can focus on group. Same thing, if you see groups here, or in your Entra Admin Center, or 365, or Azure, it's the same thing. So how will you create a group? It is, again, super simple. You just click on Groups, then click on New Group, and just enter the details. So the first thing is you have two types of group, Security and 365. Well, if you want to create a group to which you can also assign permission or privileges, in that case, you will create a security group. So what is 365? Well, M365, or this type of group, is for distribution. So let's say you want to create a shared mailbox, right? In that case, for distribution purposes, you will create M365 group. So mostly organizations also rely on security groups because they do want to manage licenses, privileges, and all that in a more efficient manner. So you select whatever type of group you want to create. Then you will enter a unique name for your group. In my case, I will just say RSB demo. So in all my demos, I will just use the same naming convention. My initials, demo. Okay? Here you can enter description. Let's say there are multiple administrators in your organization, or someone else will take over. You can describe that why you are creating a specific resource or group. This helps the next admin to understand your environment better. Now, membership type. It is grayed out for me. Remember I told you that there are multiple licenses for Entra ID as well. One is free, but the other one is also paid. So if you're using a free license, then you can create a simple assigned membership type group. What do you mean by that? Well, assigned membership type group means that you have to manually assign your users to this group. Yes, you can also do automation in some regards where you can create a script and then assign multiple users to this group. But even in that case, although you are using a script and a PowerShell or CLI environment, but at the core of it, you're still assigning it manually. All right? Just the script is removing your manual labor. But there is more type of membership. The other type is dynamic. So if you have a paid license, that is P1 or P2, you will see dynamic assignment for users and dynamic assignment for devices. Well, it is super simple. It simply means that the assignment of the user or the device will be done by Azure automatically based on the condition you create. So when you select dynamic user, you will see an option called condition. This is where you just simply create if and then condition. That means you put some conditions there. Azure will scan all the users or devices. If the user or device meets the condition, then it will be assigned to the group. If they do not meet the condition, then they will be removed. Now, for example, you can set a condition, all the users whose department is equal to HR become the member of this group. So department equal to HR is your condition. Azure will scan all the users and will check the metadata. If the department is equal to HR, they will become the part of this group. Let's say the same user actually quit the job or moved to a new department. Well, in that case, the department will change to IT, for example. Now it is not HR. So when the reevaluation will be done by Azure on this group, and a particular user is not meeting the condition, then that user will be removed automatically. This is great if you want a dynamic environment where users are assigned or devices are assigned automatically for you. Perfect. Now the next thing is owners. This is where you can set up a different owner for this group. That means if you are not there or you are leaving the job and you're handing over this group to someone else with full control over this group, then you can make that person the owner. The next is, of course, members. Here you decide which will or what will be the member of this group. Now, this can be a device or a user as well. So let's say I type RSB demo. All right, and I will select both and create, and done. A group is created and the user is also defined. The user is also assigned to this group and everything is fine. That is how easy it is to create users and groups. All right, so what if the user and group already exist and now you want to make some changes to their property? Maybe you want to change the name or you want to add or remove some data. Well, that can be done quite easily. So you will go to your IAM solution, that is Entra ID, click on users, then find the user you want to edit. For example, I will go with demo user number 1 and click on it. All right. Now, on the left-hand side, well, these are all the sub-services. You can see the logs, sign-in logs, and so much more. But if you want to change the properties, it will be on top. So you click on Edit Properties. Perfect. Here, you can change the display name, user principal name, user type. If you want to change it to guest, if you want, you can. Plus, you can edit the certificate, user IDs. Plus, you can add some job description or you can change it, contact information, parental control. Even you can disable the account, all right? Or you can see if this user is from on-premises or not. Yes, you can also sync user or synchronize user from on-prem AD. So there will be one on-prem Active Directory where you will have your user structure, and then you have your Entra ID on cloud. You can sync them. All you need is a connector agent, a software which you have to install. That is your Entra ID Connect. If you install that, configure it, then you can establish the sync. Now, in the same way, you will go to Groups, then find your group, RSP demo, and here, go to Manage and Properties. So for the group, the Properties is actually under Manage tab. Click on it, and you can change the name, description. You can also change, the assignment type if you have P1 or P2 version of the license for your Entra ID. Perfect. And that's it. But remember, when you change the name of the user, or maybe you change the name of the group, and let's say the old username or the old group name is being used somewhere in other resources, then the connection might break. That means if the old name was given to someone or being used for, let's say, authentication, yes, in that case, all the connection will break, the authentication will not work because that old username is not there anymore. It just don't exist. So just a simple step of changing name can break down multiple services. So be very careful. All right, so now let's see how you can assign licenses to your user. Now, this license can be for your M365, that is PowerPoint, Excel, Yammer, Teams, Outlook, and so much more. Or this license can be for other services like Intune, AVD, or any other license or service. So the agenda is to see where will you go to assign licenses. Now, here's the catch. Earlier, it was actually possible to assign license right in the Azure portal. So you go to Entra ID. Now, under Manage, you search for licenses, and then you click on All Products. Well, this is where you will see all the licenses you have, how many licenses you have, how many licenses are assigned, and the available licenses, plus how many licenses are being expired soon, right? But now you cannot assign license from this portal because adding, removing, and doing anything with licenses is now only available within M365 Admin Center. So Microsoft decided to move it to just one dashboard for easier management and less confusion. So we can go to the dashboard. All right. So where will you find license? Under billing, you will find licenses. Okay, this is where you will decide which license to give to whom. So let's say you want to give no, I only have one, so it's used. Hey, Office 365 A1 for faculty license to someone. Well, let's do that. You click on it, and then you decide, do you want to assign it to, let's say, a user or a group? So you decide it. Well, let's say I want to assign it to a user. Then I will click on it and assign license, RSB demo. Decide the user and assign it. And click on assign license. And when you assign the license, this user now can go and use all the products inside or allowed by that license. Now, what if you want to purchase licenses? Well, in that case, you can click on Purchase Services. And here you go. All the licenses are here. Now, if you want to, let's say, see a particular category, well, just click on it. Let's say I'm interested in 365. You will get all licenses here. Or you want Power BI. Well, Power BI. This is just a quick method to filter your licenses. Now, I will remove it, and I want, let's say, A5 for faculty. That is $14.60 per license per month. So if you want it, click on Details. And over here, you can decide, do you want to pay monthly or yearly, how many licenses you need. All right, you will see the total cost over here. Plus, you can see and compare other licenses and what products are included with it. For example, Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, Access, Sway, Publisher, and so much more. Yeah, it's pretty good, by the way. And you get P2 as well. Ah, that's nice. And then you make your decision to buy it. Of course, you need to first add your billing detail. You have to add the payment method, that is your credit card, and then you can buy it. Now, where will you add your billing detail and payment? Well, over here, bill and payments, and payment methods. Here you will add a payment method. Okay, once it is done, then you can start purchasing your licenses. All right, and that's it. This is how you manage your licenses. Pretty easy and straightforward. Okay, so now what if you want to also invite a guest account? Let's say in your organization, you have this situation where you have to hire a contractor for only 1 month. Or maybe an outsider who belongs to a different company, and you want to hire that person for a short duration. In that case, you can send an invitation to that person. The person will open their own email browser and will see the email which came from you as an invitation. The person will open it, go through the prompt, accept the invitation, and then you will see that in Azure Entra ID, an external account is created that might say some name at gmail.com, some name at yahoo.com, or even a third organizational domain.com. That is your external user. And how will you send the invite? Pretty simple. Go to Entra ID, click on User, then click here and click on Invite External User. And over here, you will put the email address of that user. Now remember, this can be Gmail as well. It does not need to be in your organization. Then you put the display name for that user, send invite message. Here you can type a nice message that I'll be glad if you can accept it as soon as possible. You will be part of our company for 1 month, and whatever you want to say. You can also CC it to other members. All right, and invite redirect URL. So this will be the redirection URL, which is there automatically. Then click Next. Here again, you can add metadata to that identity, which will be created when the user accepts the invitation. Again, you can treat that external user as if it is actually a member of your IAM solution, that is Entra ID. And then you can assign all the roles. You can add this user to the group as well. And once you are done with your configuration, you review it and click on Invite. And the invitation will be pushed to all the users. Now, when I say all the user, I mean bulk operations. You can also bulk invite users. The same logic. You download the CSV template, put the description there, all the email addresses, and the invitation will be sent. Now, if some email address is not valid, well, you might see an error here. That error does not mean that no invitation was actually sent. No, maybe few invitations were actually not sent properly. Rest might still work properly. And that's it. This is how you invite external user, maybe for business-to-business collaboration. All right, now let's check how users can reset their own password without even contacting the administrator or raising a ticket. Well, in most scenarios, if users forget their password, they will see an option called Forgot Your Password. You click on it, and then you just follow the prompt. You may have to add or enter some information to authenticate yourself, and then you will get this dashboard where you can change your password. Now, in this case, your help desk department or your administrator can focus on the main task they have, rather than just wasting time in resetting password every day. Now, as an administrator, how will you establish this functionality and make sure the user can reset their password? Well, you will go to Entra ID, then click on Users, and then click on Password Reset. Here you will see Self-Service Password Reset enabled. If it says all, that means it is enabled for everyone in your Entra ID directory. If it says none, then that means it is none. In some cases, I will recommend this actually, to select selected option here. That means you can put all those users in a group and then put that group over here. All the users in that group will get this functionality to reset their password. And why will I do this? Because I don't want my administrators or very critical users to reset their own password. No, I want them to contact me or any other admin if they forget their password. Maybe because their account is more critical and I don't want their account to get compromised. In that case, you can also select a specific group. Otherwise, all will also work. Now, whatever your choice is between selected and all, you have to configure the further options as well. This is where you can decide that how many methods are actually required to reset. Do you want them to answer just one query? Then select one. Or do you want them to provide 2 factors? More factors, the better, right? More secure. So you can select 2. Why there is no 3, 4, 5? Because again, it will be overkill. Because at some time, the balance between productivity, quality of service, and security will reach its plateau. So 2 is enough. All right. After that, you decide the available methods. So do you want to give multiple choices to your user, and they can select any 2 of these choices they like? Remember, they need to provide 2. So let's say I want email and mobile phone number. Yeah, I can choose this. But other employee might choose security questions and your authenticator app, which you install in your mobile phone. So you are giving multiple choices here. This is where you decide for security questions that how many questions are required to register and how many questions are required to reset your password. Then you can choose which question to publish. And if you don't like this question, you can also create your custom question. Maybe you can put your employee ID here or any custom question related to your organization. Then you have registration. Well, anyhow, everyone have to first register and then they can reset their password. Register simply means providing the information. Because if they want to reset their password and they want MFA to happen, Azure needs to know their phone number. Azure needs to register the authenticator app first. So once it is done, well, then they can reset their password. Here you can decide that do you want a user to register when signing in? If you say no, all right, imagine your self-service password reset is enabled, but over here you say no. That means you are again giving a choice that the user can just simply sign in without providing information, and they might not use this feature. But if you say yes, In that case, users will not be allowed to sign in until unless they give information, they register. All right? Here you can decide after how many days you want users to re-register. I understand that they might still have the same phone number. So what? They just have to enter the same phone number again and re-register. Here you decide if you want to notify user on password reset and all the admins when other admin reset the password. Yes, I recommend to put it to yes, or at least put this one to yes, because you want to get notified if administrators are changing their password, because that can be very critical. Sometime you see that when you reset your password, there is actually a URL or a link to company's help desk page or company's ticketing system. Maybe you want to raise a question. Well, in this case, you can attach a custom help desk email or URL. It will show up at the bottom. On-premises integration. You will not use it all the time, but what do you mean by this? Well, I don't have the access to it, but it's okay, I can explain it. When you have a hybrid environment, that means you have your on-prem Active Directory synchronized with your Entra ID with the help of Entra ID Connect. Remember the software? The software you install to synchronize your on-prem AD users with cloud? Yes. That software also have a feature called password write back. What do you mean by that? Well, if the user changed their password on-prem, of course the new password hash will be synchronized with cloud. So cloud and on-prem, both directory know the current password. But what if you change the password on cloud? Well, that will not be automatically synchronized with on-prem. It is one way. So for that, you have to first enable password write back, and this is where you will see the integration of password write back. And that's it. The next is activities to check the logs and usage and insight. And if you have any question or you're not able to solve something, then you can raise a support ticket with Microsoft. Not with your company, this is for Microsoft, and they will get back to you. This is how easy it is to enable self-service password reset, and I recommend every company actually should use it, but for selected groups. Don't just enable it for everyone. All right, so let's summarize this video. Here we created and we also saw how to manage users and groups, how to update user and group properties, assign and manage licenses, managing external users. We also saw how to set up Sspr, that is self-service password reset. Well, these are core tasks every Azure admin must know. And these topics are heavily tested in AZ-104 certification exam as well. Now, in the next video, we will build on this by learning how to manage access to Azure resources, including RBAC, that is role-based access control. We will also see what it means by built-in roles. So there are two separate mechanisms to assign roles and privileges, RBAC and built-in roles. Plus, we will also see what are the effects of these roles on user group, and even services. So make sure that you are subscribed to our channel and hit that notification bell icon so that you don't miss the next video. Until then, take care.
Thank you for watching NetSoft IT Academy. 905-812-2923. info@netsoftacademy.com. www.netsoftacademy.com.